Okay, so today we're looking at the study guide for exam 3. So we start off with stuff from the finance chapter. You want to have $100,000 in your account when you retire in 30 years. Your retirement account earns 3% interest. How much do you need to deposit each month to meet your retirement goal? Round to the next highest dollar. So we're putting money into a retirement account. So this is inputting money into an annuity, and the formula was P equals D times 1 plus R divided by K to the NK minus 1 over R divided by K. So the variables we have here are P, D, R, K, and N. So we want to have $100,000. So that's our P. We're looking for the monthly payment, so we don't know what D is. Our interest rate is 3%, which we convert to the decimal of 0.03. We're making deposit each month. So K is monthly or 12. And then we're doing this for 30 years. So N is 30. So that's the hardest part of these problems. Determining which equation to use, and then finding out all the information from the written problem. So now we just replace the variables with the values that we've determined they are. So as I said, P is 100,000. We don't know what D is. R is 0.03. K is 12. N is 30. K is 12. Minus 1. And then again, we have 0.03 divided by 12. So first thing I need to do is figure out what 0.03 is divided by 12 is. If I do that calculation, I should get 0.0025. I'm going to replace that in the equation. 0.0025 to the 30th times 12 minus 1. And then I can also replace it here. Now, it has been my experience that most people don't like working with fractions. So I can get rid of the fraction by multiplying both sides by 0.0025. So 100,000 times 0.0025. We have 250 over here. I don't have to worry about the fraction. This becomes 1.0025. 30 times 12 is 360. So now I need to calculate what this is. So 250 equals 1.0025 to the 360th power. 1.0025 to the 360th power. And I get 2.4568 to 4 decimal places. So I have D times 2.4568 8 minus 1. So 250 equals D times 1.4568. Divide both sides. $250 divided by 1.4568. I get 171.61, and it says round to the next highest dollar, so $172. Any questions on how we did that? Everybody got it? Okay, the next one is find the simple interest when the principal is $1,500 and the interest rate is 6% and the time is 5 years. So this is simple interest over time. Formula is interest equals P times R times T. Well, my principal is 1,500. My interest rate is 6%. Or 0.06, and my time is 5 years. So this is 1,500 times 0.06 times 5. So 1,500 times 0.06 times 5. That gives me $450. Any questions on that one? Okay, number 3 here, looks like we're taking out a mortgage. So remember, the mortgage is the same as the annuity payout formula. Not the pay in, the payout. And that formula is P sub 0 equals D times 1 minus 1 plus R divided by K to the negative NK power. All over R divided by K. So our variables are P sub 0, D, R, K, and N again. P sub 0 is our mortgage amount of $250,000. D is what we're looking for. Our interest rate is 3%, which is 0.03 again. And we're talking monthly payments, so K is 12. And we're talking 15 years, so N is 15. So again, simply plug everything into the equation. P sub 0 is 250,000. We're looking for D, 1 minus 1 plus 0.03 over 12 minus 15 times 12 over 0.03 divided by 12. Okay, now again, go ahead and figure out what this is. We already know, since we calculated it once already. Have D times 1 minus 1. I'm going to go ahead and add it as well. 1.0025, and this is negative 15 times 12, which is negative 180. And again, we're over 0.0025. If I multiply both sides by 0.0025, I should get, I think it's 625. Maybe I should just do it. 250,000 at 0.0025. Yep, 625. Equals D times 1 minus 1.0025 to the negative 180th. I'm coming back over here. The 1 minus, and this 1.0025 to the negative 180th. 1.0025 caret negative 180. Don't use the minus, use the negative. 1.0025 to the negative 180, and that gives me the 4 decimal places, 637 or 6380. So bring that over here. Do my subtraction, 0.3620. Now divide both sides by that. We end up with 625 divided by 0.3620. And I end up with $1,726.52. That's my monthly payment. Any questions on that one? Okay, it looks like we have another mortgage. Same formula. P sub 0 equals D times 1 minus 1 plus R over K. Try this again. P sub 0 equals D times 1 minus 1 plus R divided by K to the negative NK over R divided by K. Now P sub 0, $350,000 mortgage. R, 6%, 0.06. Monthly payments, so K is 12, 30 years, so N is 30, and we're looking for D. Everybody follow how I did that? So now let's plug in our values and see what we end up with. The P sub 0 is 350,000 equals D times 1 minus 1 plus 0.06 divided by 12 to the negative 30 times 12 over 0.06 divided by 12. Well, 0.06 divided by 12 is 1 minus 1 plus 0.005. That's to the negative 360th power over the 0.005. So we can go ahead and multiply both sides by 0.005 to get rid of the fraction. So 0.005 times 350,000 equals 1750. That gets rid of my fraction. So I have D times 1 minus, and this is 1.005 to the negative 360th. Now calculate that. Again, 1.005 caret negative 360. 1.005 to the negative 360. And that gives me 0.1660. So that means my 1,750 is equal to D times 1 minus 0.1660. Finish my subtraction here. That's 0.834. Divide both sides by 0.834. And what do I end up with? 1,750 divided by 0.834 equals $2,098.32. Now, I do give some leeway on these answers due to rounding. Because if you were to round this to 0.17, you would get a slightly different answer. So I do take that into account. Any questions? Any questions on the finance chapter at all? Everybody's good? All right, go to the next page. Gross models. This should look very familiar. Both of these are, all these are very familiar. The population of bears in a national forest was measured to be 12,000 in 2003. And was measured again to be 15,000 in 2007. The population continues to grow linearly. So it tells you which formula to use. At this rate, what will be the bear population in 2014? So that formula is, and again, the formulas are on the test. P sub n equals P sub 0 plus ND. My problem is I don't have a D. But I do have P sub 0. I have P sub 4. So I can find out what D is. So P sub 4, which is 15,000, equals P sub 0, which is 12,000, plus N, which is 4, times D, which I'm trying to find. So I subtract 12,000 from both sides. I have 3,000 equals 4D. Divide by 5 or 4, and I have 750 equals D. So now I know D is 750. I want to go to 2014. So N is equal to 2014 minus 2003, which is 11. So now my P of 11 is equal to my initial population, which was 12,000 plus 11 times 750. Yeah, I just noticed that. Thank you. So I have 12,000 plus, what's 11 times 750? Is that 8,250? Add it together, and I get 20,250. Easy, right? Any questions on that one? Okay, next we have, this next question covers the next three questions, or this next statement covers the next three questions. A native wolf species has been reintroduced into Yellowstone National Park and grows according to the law of exponential growth. Originally, 200 wolves were transplanted After 3 years, the population had grown to 270 wolves. So we have our initial P sub 0 is 200. We know P sub 3 is 270. And we know our formula for this is P sub n equals P sub 0 times 1 plus R to the n. So we have P sub n, we have P sub 0, and we have n, as n is equal to 3. So we're looking for the growth rate, which is R. So plug in the values we have. 270 equals 200 times 1 plus R to the third. Divide both sides by 200. And 1.35 equals 1 plus R to the third. So now I need to take the cube root or the third root of both sides. So the cube root of 1.35. To key this in, I simply do 1.35, hit my caret button, open a parentheses, hit 1 divided by 3, close parentheses. Calculating that, 1.35 to the 1 divided by 3. And it should come up to be 1.1052, rounded to 4 decimal places. 1.1052. And if I take the cube root of something cubed, I simply get what was underneath the radical. So this is 1 plus R. So if I subtract 1 from both sides, I get R equals 0.1052. That is my growth rate, about 10.5%. Okay, any questions on that one? Okay, so if this trend continues, how many wolves will there be in 10 years? So now I know P sub 0 is 200, R is 0.1052, N is 10. I want to find P sub 10. So using my formula, P sub 10 equals P sub 0, which is 200, times 1 plus R, which is 0.1052, to the nth power, which would be 10. I have 200 times 1.1052 to the 10th power. Again, 1.1052 caret 10. 1.1052 to the 10th power. So I have 200 times 2.7190. 200 times 2.7190 equals 543.8. Now, what are we talking about? We're talking about wolves. Can I have 0.8 of a wolf? So, round up. I doubt I would count off if you gave me 543.8. So any questions on that one? Simply plugging in values in the equation or the formula. So then we get to the last one. If this trend continues, how long will it take the population to grow to 1,000 wolves? So I'm saying P sub n is equal to 1,000. We want to continue to trend, so R is the same. P sub 0 is 200, but I do not know N. That's what I'm looking for. So, again, straight from the formula, 1,000 equals 200 times 1 plus R. Oops, we know what R is. 0.1052 to the N. First thing I do, divide by 200 on both sides. 1 plus, well, we can add it too, can't we? 1.1052 to the N. Anybody remember what we do here? This is a tricky one. Take the log of both sides. So the log of 5 equals the log of 1.1052 to the nth power. Now, if I have the log of a number to a power, I can actually write that as n times the log of 1.1052. This stays the same. Okay? So now I can divide both sides by the log of 1.1052. And that way I'll have n equals, so to key this in, hit your log button. It'll open a parentheses for you. Key in 5, close the parentheses, divided by, hit the log button again. It'll open parentheses, hit 1.1052, close parentheses, and it should give you the answer. Let's see what we get. So we have, where is log on this calculator? There it is. Log of 5, close inch, parentheses, divided by log of 1.1052, close parentheses, equals. And I get 16.09. Years. That's it. Any questions? No? It's going to be an easy test. You'll be given the formula. So that won't be an issue. You'll have to figure out which one to use. And then know how to use it, be familiar with it. So here's what we're looking at. Tuesday, no class. Spend the time catching up on homework, your project. I haven't seen very many of those. Go vote if you're eligible. I didn't realize it was election day, but I have something I need to do that day, so no class. I hope nobody's upset. So that brings us to Thursday, the 10th, 22, not 11, and Tuesday, the 15th. Exam number 3. So you can take it on Thursday, then you'll have to come the following Tuesday. Or if you can't make it Thursday, you can take it the following Tuesday. That brings us to Thursday, the 17th. This is optional. Questions on homework or project, that type of thing. So if you need help with something, come in and I'll help you. I'm imagining there won't be everybody here, so we can get more individual work. And then Tuesday, the 22nd, I'm gonna go with no class. My assumption is several people will be traveling out of town. We're all done. We'll be done with exam 3 as well. So the only thing we'll have left to do is reviewing for the final exam, which will be done. This is Tuesday and Thursday. This is is that right? The 24th and the 26th? So am I that far ahead in here? The final is on the 8th. No, that's because this is supposed to be Thursday. There we go. Now I'm better. That's Thanksgiving, so nobody's going to be here. Then that brings us to Tuesday. That's better. Tuesday the 29th. 11/29. And Thursday is the 1st. Review for final. And then our final is what day? The 8th. Yeah. So we got the Thursday final. Final exam. Thursday. 12/08/22. At 2 p.m. Is that going to be a problem for anybody? Yes. Just one, really? Well, you shouldn't. Not done finals week. So now the exam is from 2 to 4:30. And if you need time, so if you're going to be a little late, go ahead and come. Because what I can do is on Tuesday, the 6th, not at 6 p.m. And building 4, room 210. That classroom has a capacity of 49 people. That class only has 12 people in it. So if you know you're not going to be able to make this, come then. Will that be a problem for anybody that can't make it Thursday? Because if you can't make it to either of these times, we need to figure something out. And we need to try to do it in advance. I mean, one option is probably do it Thursday after the review if you want. Yeah, you just be sure you come to this building and room and not the original one. And also you might want to remind me that you're in 1106 because the other class is not the same course. So any questions? Let's stop this recording.